me introduce your host, Fino and Sasha, the legit king.
It's the start of the show, time to walk through the smoke. When I enter the ring, I jump over the ropes. I feel like Mysterio, I ain't no joke. Titles, I held them both, call me Chris Jericho. Time to cash in my money in the bank. Just like Sheamus when he beat Roman Reigns. Meet me in the cage, like Undertaker when he met Kane. I don't play games, I'm no Triple H. The crowd screaming, you rock like my name's Dwayne. The crowd screaming, you suck like your Kurt Angle. In the ring, I'm the boss just like Sasha Banks. So you'll get whipped like the intro from Sable. King of my stable, don't matter the label. Smackdown or Raw, you get put through a table. Pushed off a ladder or choked with a cable. Throw me a chair, I'ma give him a facial. It's the start of the show, time to walk through the smoke. When I enter the ring, I jump over the ropes.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the wrestling podcast known as Ring Champs. I am one of your hosts. It's your boy, Just Fino. And of course, I'm here with my co-host, the one and only Sasha, the legit king. Sasha, say what's up to the people.
What's up, people?
Sasha, how you doing?
I'm okay. I just had a bowl of cereal, so I'm okay. We had a little internal debate about the best cereal. I had Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and you chose two cereals that are not Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
She first off, she said that the worst two cereals in the world was Captain Crunch and Fruity Pebbles.
I didn't say they were the worst. I said I don't like them.
Basically what you said.
That's not what I said.
You said basically that's in the top 5 worst things a person can eat. I was like, wow. We almost ended the show. Officially.
What I don't appreciate is that's not what I said. I said I don't like Fruity Pebbles or Captain Crunch. That's what I said.
When's the last time you had a nice bowl of Fruity Pebbles or Captain Crunch?
I just don't like the way they taste.
That's wild, bro.
It's just not me.
I don't even want to talk to you. I really don't.
So do you just not like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or you just like?
I just didn't like it, but you completely dismissed the other two.
All I said was I was eating. You asked me, what was I eating? And I said Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I didn't say it was the best cereal. I just answered your question. The next thing I know, you were like, that's the wrong answer. Two best cereals are Fruity Pebbles and Captain Crunch. And I was like, what? That's what happened.
That's false. You can't prove that.
I'm not letting you start our show with revisionist history. I'm just not doing it.
Look, I'm not gonna do this with you because we're live. Well, we're you know what I mean. I don't want to do this because we could talk all day about this, and I have plenty more to say about it, but I'm gonna just hold off to another time. Okay, we got a lot to talk about, Sasha. You're trying to derail the conversation already in the start of the show. We got a lot to talk about. Okay, I'm depressed. Okay, you know what just happened the other day. I've been talking about it for weeks now, and I'm still emotionally not 100%. Almost was like Cody Rhodes just now, just talking and doing a promo and crying and everything, like one of those Cody crybabies.
I feel like deep down you knew this was going to happen. You just didn't want to accept it. Because I feel like I had told you that I don't think that it was going to happen the way you wanted it to happen.
I knew it was going to happen 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I know. It just wasn't
You were
ready.
really holding out hope, boy. But
yes,
okay.
I was holding out hope. Oh, man. We'll get into that later. I'm not ready to talk about that. Because first off, let's just announce. So this is episode 24, the Kobe episode, basically. Rest in peace, Kobe. Okay, number 24. And we hadn't recorded an episode. So it's been 2 weeks. So a lot has happened over the last 2 weeks. let's see. Let's do just a quick rundown. We had Revolution, Sting's last match, which I attended.
Oh yes. I do want to hear about that.
Yes. I will get into that and how I almost beat someone's ass. Let's see. Well, I wanted to. I didn't actually do it, but I should have. Yeah,
I really want to hear that. Okay.
Let's see. So we had Revolution, then we had the debut of Okada. I always fuck up his first name. So Okada has, he debuted in AEW. We obviously had the debut of Mercedes Moné and AEW. We had the second slap, the second loudest slap across the world, biggest slap, whatever you want to call it, in SmackDown. Let's see. What else am I missing, Sasha? We had some Hall of Fame announcements.
See, we had some extra WrestleMania matches.
Yes, we got some more WrestleMania matches. We got a lot to talk about, Sasha. We got a lot to get in. We got a big announcement at the end of the show. We got a lot to say.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Get to it. Yeah. What do you want to start with, Sasha? I'll give you the floor. Which out of those things you want to talk about first? You want to do it in order, or you just want to pick one?
I really want to hear what happened with you. I had no idea.
Okay.
What happened? Yeah, I want to hear that.
Let's talk about Revolution. So we go first off. Tony needs to figure out, I guess I don't know if AEW or the building that they were at, which was Greensboro Coliseum, I don't know if they were expecting a big crowd or not, because I'm not sure how many people that place holds. I think it holds close to 19,000, I think, or something. Trying to remember, but anyway, I don't know if they know how many people they were expecting, because they only had one entrance into the whole building. So the line was it holds 22,000, and the place was packed. By the way, it was a full house, sold out. But they literally had two big ass lines that went all around the whole building and across another building and across the street and all this. And then they converged into one line, into one entrance. So I don't know what the hell happened with that. That was just terrible. It took maybe 45 minutes just to get in. It was just stupid. But other than that, once we get in, so I'm in line. This is the part. I almost skipped this part. So this is where I wanted to beat this dude up. I'm standing in line. It's me and my boy. We just listening to the fans. They're having fun. They're doing the woo chants for Ric Flair, and you see a bunch of people cosplaying a Sting, or you see all the shirts that people wear. Some people are wearing Sting shirts or different AEW shirts. I made the joke that I should have wore Seth Rollins shirt, because Sting and the whole thing, anyway, the injury thing, it was I made the joke. It was funny. Me and my boy were dying. But the funniest thing is, someone actually walked by with a Seth Rollins shirt. So the thing was hilarious, because literally 5 minutes
menaces out there in North Carolina. Y'all just menace. Okay.
That was hilarious. But anyway, so I'm in line. Okay, chilling. And I'm hearing the conversation behind me. It's this guy is talking to this other dude, and they're talking about, oh yeah, it was one of the guy's first wrestling event in 10 years. He hadn't been watching wrestling, but he heard about Greensboro Coliseum and he heard about Sting, so he wanted to go and see his last match for his first event, which is a great first event to go to.
Okay.
The other guy is a diehard AEW fan. I mean, diehard. Man went to 10 events. He can tell you all the information, basically. So I don't know what switched the conversation, But he started talking about WWE and how like, yeah, WWE is shit. They don't have any good storylines. Like, it's just boring TV, same shit, different day. I'm like, wait, what? Like in my mind, because I at first I didn't say nothing. I'm just like, I'm listening to this, and then he mentioned my tribal chief.
Uh-oh.
And this is what he said. Roman is like the trash, completely trash, the most boring superstar of all time. WWE should just fire him and all this other crap. And I'm like, I'm thinking something. Wait,
wrestling fans really love hyperbole, don't they? It's incredible.
Like, Roman Reigns is. You can argue right now he's the biggest, not WWE guy, wrestler in the world. And what proves that is, I don't know if you know this, Sasha, but on TikTok or Instagram, it was one. I know it was on TikTok, but I think it was on Instagram as well. Do you know that there was a bunch of major sports teams, including my favorite team, the New York Jets, who actually acknowledge Roman Reigns? Just randomly started doing it. Some of the soccer clubs across the world, some of the biggest ones. I believe it was was it Man U? I think Man U did it. God, there was some other teams. I'm sorry, my soccer knowledge is not as great. Even though I was
about to say, like, mine is limited as well. But I know
some of the biggest teams in, I believe Arsenal too was one of the teams. But anyway, some of the biggest teams in soccer across in Europe, and then several NFL teams just started randomly acknowledging. Oh, the Brooklyn Nets from the NBA, they also acknowledge Roman Reigns. So that's the level that Roman Reigns is on. You know what I mean? Like, there's levels to this. Do you know, like, Roman Reigns would, by himself, he doesn't even have to have a match. There doesn't need to be another wrestler on the card, no other person there on the show. It could just be Roman Reigns just walking into the arena, would sell out Greensboro Coliseum, 22,000 people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's levels to this. And you're gonna disrespect. Not only do you just disrespect the WWE, like they not dominating the game right now. But you gonna disrespect my tribal chief? Bro, when I tell you I started fuming and my boy had to like calm me down because I was gonna say something, I was like, nah, I can't do this. I can't. It's the toxicity. It's the tribalism that it really annoys me. Is why I say wrestling fans, I hate them. I hate them.
Well, for one, I'm glad that you did not get into a scuffle because that would have really left our show in a lurch. But I mean, I guess I don't understand, like you said, the tribalism. Like, I don't see why, if you don't like something, or if you like something, that you feel like it's necessary to trash the alternative. Like, I don't understand that. Like, I don't watch AEW. I just don't talk about it. Like, I just don't. Like, if I don't watch it, like, I'm not gonna, like, okay, I'm not gonna waste my time talking about it. I'm not gonna sit there and trash it. Like, what? Like, it's a very odd thing. I think it's weird, as when we were younger, I think we all kind of had that moment where it was like, you were kind of like low-key embarrassed about being a wrestling fan because people would be like, oh, it's fake, or they'd make fun of you or something like that. And now that I'm older, it's a little bit like outsiders just don't understand. Some wrestling fans just seem to hate wrestling, and I don't understand why that is. Like, that's insane. Like, you don't have to. And then it's like saying, oh, he should lose his job. I'm like, if you strip away the shirts and the catchphrases and the character, like, that's a man with a family. Like, you want this man to lose his job, like, chill. And it just seems like it's just a cool thing to do. It's like, I see they post stuff on social media and like, oh, it's cringe, this is bad. I'm like, you don't see me I think I've used this reference before. Like, I don't watch The Big Bang Theory. It's just not for me. I've watched it a couple times. Like, yeah, this is not my humor. It's all right. You don't see me openly seeking out discussions about The Big Bang Theory to trash the show. I just move on with my life. It's not my bag. Okay, cool. You know, if you like AEW, you're a hardcore AEW fan, awesome. If you don't like WWE, cool. You know, I think people are like, oh, we have the right to say whatever we want. Like, I think you're also forgetting, like, you also have the right not to say anything. Like, just because you can say something doesn't mean you should. And I think people really kind of forget that. So that's such a weird thing. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
just
like
watch the damn show, and if you don't like it, then
just don't watch it. Don't
watch something else. You know, just chill.
And I just hate it too. And it's not just AEW fans that shit on WWE. Like, it's WWE people that shit on AEW as well. Like, when I shit on AEW, it's from a critique standpoint because I watch both and I like both. And I understand, like, the difference between both programs. I do compare them, but I realize, and this is how I kind of learned the truth about AEW within myself. What I mean by that is, I put AEW, I try to put them on the same, when I first started, I try to put them on the same, like, on the same level as WWE as far as the focus of what they should be doing. And they kept talking about the alternative. But my mind wasn't thinking alternative. My mind is thinking wrestling. And all I knew for the longest is wrestling to me is WWE.
Right.
And the storytelling, and that is more important. AEW is wrestling first, where storytelling is like the secondary. And when you think like that, you learn to respect and admire AEW more. And
you change your expectations around.
Exactly. Basically. And I think that's why when I sat down and I watched this show live, you know, at Revolution, I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the fans. I'm reading the crowd. I'm listening. By the way, I always have good luck with the people around me. Like, I don't know how your experience was at Raw when you went, but I've always sat next to someone, or at least in my vicinity, that was like hilarious. Like, they'll just say like the most randomest funny chants, and then we get the whole crowd singing that chant. I always sit next to that person. So like, I'm listening to these people. I'm listening to the fans behind me, beside me, all this stuff, and I'm truly understanding. Okay, the moves, the high spots, all these different things that AEW focuses on. And probably what draws a lot of the wrestlers who go there, the Mercedes Moné, the Okadas, the Will Ospreay, which I'll get into in a second. I understand now, even more now, I should say. I understood before, but I understand even more now why AEW, not only is it the alternative, but why it is a great attraction. And it doesn't matter about the ratings for them. It doesn't matter about how many shows they fill or how many seats they fill, or if they have empty arenas. It doesn't matter, because that's not important. What's important is actually the wrestling. And I give, as much shit as I give Tony Khan.
And you do give him a lot of shit.
I respect what he did. I always say I respect him. I may not like the man, and I did boo him when he came out, but I respect the hell out of what he does. because it just gives you a different avenue to love to love the sport that we do. So I just wanted to say that real quick. Now on to Ospreay.
Here we go.
What a truly honor to watch Ospreay perform in the ring. If I don't know if you've seen an Ospreay match yet, but if you haven't, I would truly recommend watching an Ospreay match and then seeing it live. Holy shit. It is truly remarkable. I think Dave Meltzer gave his match like 5 3/4 stars or whatever. I don't go over 5. It was definitely a 5-star match where him and Tashida did truly special match. The action was just fast paced. Started off a little slow, but they built it up, and then it just went on fire. Great match. Sting's match, final match, hell of a career by Sting. Loved the entrance, loved the whole thing where he had his sons dress up as his older gimmicks. The Wolfpack one, then the original Sting that started in WCW, NWA, stuff like that. Truly, that was just amazing. That spot that Darby did, I don't know, did you see the clip on that, Sasha?
No, to be honest, I don't know. I hear a lot about what Darby Allin does, and I'm just like, I don't want to see this man.
He did this spot where he jumped off the ladder and just it through the glass, and this was real glass too. Shout out
I
to
believe
Jack
it.
Perry.
I believe it.
Shout out to Jack Perry for that, the real glass. But yeah, like that was crazy. Just that was an awesome match. Just all the spots that they were doing with Sting and of course the Darby thing, like I mentioned, that was the second best match of the night for sure. Great way for Sting to go out, having a close to 5-star match. I gave it 4. It was like a 4-star match to me, but it was just really fun. He won with the titles, so great experience there. Overall, though, the matches it was a great show wrestling standpoint. Like I said, if storylines, obviously, I throw them out the window with AEW. They have some, but if you just focus on the wrestling, it was a great wrestling night. And I understand from a wrestling standpoint, if someone would say, I get why they say this was one of the best pay-per-views in AEW history because of that. I think Tony Khan went as far as saying the greatest pay-per-view ever. I wouldn't go that far at all. But as a wrestling standpoint, I can understand the best in the company history for sure, because it was on that level. FTR had a good match with Moxley. It was actually I thought it was my first time seeing Moxley, but I actually saw Moxley as Dean Ambrose. I didn't remember that. So that's actually pretty cool. I thought I'd never saw Moxley before, but I did. And I'm trying to think what else was there. Oh, and I want to give major shout out real quick before we move on to the next thing. Major shout out to Julia Hart. So Julia Hart, I will also advise you to please watch her entrance, because live, it's the best entrance I've ever, like, it's the best entrance in wrestling today. That shit is fire. So I just wanted to say that, because that was amazing. But overall, the show, if you want to go, well, out of 10, I would give it about 8.5, 9 for sure. But great experience, great crowd reactions. Place was sold out. Sting's last match, great. Ospreay's match, amazing. It was good to see Brian Danielson, sorry, wrestle. That was the first time I've ever seen him wrestle. He had a good match with Eddie Kingston, who I'm not a big fan of, but love his promo work. And I'm trying to think. And Joe and Swerve, like Swerve's house, that was pretty cool to do the dance. I did the dance. But yeah, other than that, great experience for sure.
Glad you had a good time.
Thank you. Hopefully we get that's topped on Monday when I attend Monday Night Raw, but we'll see.
Once again, I'm tasking you to somehow get my phone number to Senior Money in the Bank.
I'll try, but you know he's
an
busy.
Early birthday present for me.
He's busy. He got a lot on his plate right now. I
think he can slide over like one spot on his plate. I feel like that's not a big task.
I'll try, but like I said, tomorrow's what 3/16 day. He's gonna have a 6-pack then. He's gonna have a 6-pack on WrestleMania. So I'm just saying he got it busy. He got. I think
he can make room for this. But let's move on.
We'll see. We'll figure this out. All right. So let's go on to the next thing. I mentioned the Ospreay and Okada and the sad day a couple of days ago with Mercedes Moné making their debuts for AEW. Sasha, do you have any thoughts on any of those debuts or anything like that?
Well, again, like I said, I don't get to watch AEW as much. I kind of figured this Mercedes Moné thing was happening. I was a little bit worried about you. But hey, if we talked about it on the show, she's happy. That's all that matters. And just, I hope she gets the opportunities that she wants. Like, I hope this is everything she wants it to be. I hope this is a step forward for the women's division. I just hope that this goes well. I watched the interview she did. What was it, with Evan Mack?
I was going to bring that up. The Evan T. Mack on the Kick Rocks Wrestling podcast.
Yes, I watched that. It was a pretty good conversation, and I like that she said, she didn't rule out going back to WWE, but like she also said, she had goals, she had things she wanted to do, and she's doing them. So, shout out to her for that. I know you feel some type of way about it. I know deep down you want her to be happy, but I also know that, you kind of wish she'd come home, but she'll come back eventually. Just, let's just see. I just want this to be good. I don't want this to be cool for a week and then it doesn't really mean anything in the long term, That's why I just really hope this is a positive step, because Tony's taking a lot of criticism for the women. So this is a chance. And it's not to say like, she's going to save the women's division. It's like, you're putting this big time player. You have to step your game up, because you have women in that division. You got to use it. You have to use them. You have to, give them the opportunities. So let's just hope this is a step in the right direction. I want all the girls to win. That's what I want.
I want all the girls to win too. I also think, though, he took the wrong step in the direction already. And so let me just jump to. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and get over and talk about Sasha.
Let's just get it out. Let's go.
Yeah, let me just get it out. So, speaking of that interview, real quick. So, I did want to ask you a question. I was going to bring that interview up because you mentioned how she said that, she knows she's going to end up back there one day, basically. She said, like I said, her words exactly was, I know I'm going to be back there one day. Like I said, I have a lot of unfinished business in a lot of places. I wanted to ask you, what did you feel about that? Because apparently that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way in AEW, how you're already mentioning going back to the WWE before your debut in AEW. What do you feel about that part?
I mean, wasn't she asked the question? And she just answered it, so...
She did, and I agree with you on that, but I can understand, like, you don't have... Just because someone asks you a question doesn't mean you have to answer it. Like, there's a certain way like it was the wrong time to answer that. Like she could have said maybe like, I mean that's a good question, but I want to focus on my, you know, AEW or something. Like I don't know. I just don't. I understand that point of view where you don't say that ahead of the debut. Now, if it was a year down the line and you're already been in AEW, okay, but I can understand. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that. But as far as my viewpoints of her being in AEW, I don't like her theme song. I got to say, I just want to say that the CEO thing, the CEO chant theme. I liked her regular, the one she came out with in Japan with money, dun dun dun, money. Like I love that. Not a big fan of the chant CEO, but I get it because she's the boss. And she, you know, so I get it. It's gonna get her over because of that. You heard the crowd going crazy with the CEO chant, so I get it. So that was fine. But the thing I don't like already, so at the end of the show, so if you remember right, she got injured facing Willow.
Yes.
In Japan. And so she came out to help Willow against Julia Hart, who, like I said, has the best interest in the wrestling.
I need to go and watch this Julia Hart interest. I need to figure out what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah, it's fire.
Because I feel like the reasons why I'm thinking Good Be Fire could be definitely different from what you're thinking.
No, because it's not that. Because no, she is a very beautiful woman. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that. It has nothing to do with her looks.
Okay.
It's trust me. Sky Blue looks way better than her, but that's not here or there. She just has a great entrance. But yeah, so I don't like that. It seems that they're going to kind of put Sasha. I'm gonna keep calling her Sasha. I'm sorry. They're gonna keep putting her into a feud with, I guess, the Julia Hart and Willow Nightingale thing. Eventually, I think she's going to turn heel on Willow, and then you get the CEO as a heel, which she should be. She should be a heel. Like, we all know that. She's better as a heel. So, I like that. But I feel like, if anything, to be honest, she needs to be already, like, top of the card, facing for the women's title, like the main women's title, not the mid-card title. Like, she needs to be right there. Toni Storm, because Toni Storm's the current champion. Toni Storm and Sasha Knight at the next pay-per-view, AEW Dynasty, the new pay-per-view they just announced. We're gonna get Bryan Danielson versus Ospreay, by the way. So holy shit. But yes, that should be the main. That should be one of the matches up there. Toni Storm, Mercedes Moné for the title. Give Mercedes Moné the title and let her carry your show until Britt Baker DMD is able to come back, and then that's your headlining feud that puts the women's division actually on the map.
Is she hurt, or she just?
I don't know. I think she is, but I don't know when she got hurt, unless she's taking care of Adam. But Adam's been on the show, so why can't she? So I don't know. I don't think they've actually said what's wrong with her, to be honest with you.
Okay. I just wasn't sure. Okay.
And I don't think there's really any story out there as to what it is, but I think it's a small injury or something like that, or I think but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that's the direction I would take. But if they want to start her out slow and then I guess continue that feud with Willow, that's fine. From a wrestling standpoint, I get it, because she wants to. It's not really about the stories with Sasha. It's more about the wrestling, right? So when you think about from a wrestling standpoint, she'll get to wrestle all these different women. Willow, she'll actually get a proper match with Willow. She'll get, a match with Sky Blue, with Julia, then Toni eventually. I would imagine they're going to go into a Saraya one with her to build off of that. Their previous history. So there's different directions that they would go that it's fine. I just wish she was built to the top. Like, you got to shoot her to the top, at least for the first 6 months. She's got to be able to carry you into that all-in show, or all. Is it All Out or All In that's in Wembley Stadium? I think it's All In that's in Wembley. So that's just me. As far as Okada, that's a big signing for them. When you got Tony Khan and you got a bunch of money, that's just what's gonna happen. WWE's not gonna give out a lot of money to guys that, yes, Okada is, arguably the best wrestler in the world, but it's not like Okada on a superstar standard. He's not up there. He's not gonna sell tickets like a John Cena, or like if Sting came to WWE or something like that. Or obviously, I'm not gonna mention he's on the level of Roman when it comes to that. Like, there's different levels. Only those type of people should get that type of money in the WWE's eyes. I understand that, even though Okada can get there under the tutelage of WWE, I understand them not giving him the money. I think he's getting like $4 million, a year, which is the report. WWE's not going to do that. I'm sorry. Like, Brock Lesnar was getting like 12, I think, at one point. So, but Brock is an attraction. You know what I mean? So I get that. Okada is not there, but from a wrestling standpoint, he's up there. But no one knows who he is, and that's kind of obvious based on AEW standards and that. People, even though in AEW he's a big deal, it's not like he's drawing the money there.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So yeah, and then Ospreay, huge get. That's just, you're just getting the guy that can be the face of your company. That's just basically it. Make him the face of your company. Everyone else, push to the side. It should be Ospreay and everyone else. Point blank simple.
Well, like you said, if you're going to change you've already pretty much come to terms with your expectation of AEW, then I would say this will be a successful free agency for AEW. If you're focusing on just the wrestling and not in secondary would be storytelling, then sure, that's a pretty good get. Okada, Ospreay, and Moné. Hey.
Yeah, I would say that's probably that's equal to the NBA when the Miami Heat got LeBron and all them. It's from a wrestling in-ring standpoint, they got 3 of the best wrestlers in the world. So in any case that you get those type of players, yeah, that's a win. It's definitely a win for them. They're gonna put out outstanding matches every night. So how can how can anyone hate on that? If anything, you gotta just respect the hell out of it. So, and plus, when you're a billionaire, when your daddy's a billionaire, hey, you got money to play with, right? So,
again, I want everybody to win.
Yeah, and speaking of winning and money, apparently there's a report, a WWE female superstar said that Sasha is now the most paid women's superstar ever, basically, and the top one. So she's happy because of that, because now that's going to help women in their contracts, upcoming contracts coming up. That's going to, how it is in sports is, let's say in the NFL, for example, let's say you're a quarterback, Sasha, and you get a contract for $40 million a year and you're the top contract, that means when I come up for my contract, now I can ask for 45 or I can ask for 50. You set the bar, now I want the next level, and then you keep stacking. So Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, let's say she signed for $2 million a year, right? Well, if Alexa Bliss comes up, she's gonna go to WWE. Hey, look, or let's say Bianca. Let's put Bianca. Bianca be like, okay, well, hey, she getting 2. I want 3. You telling me WWE's not gonna do that? You bet your ass they are.
Well,
So
let's see. I mean, she's already doing. I heard that story too. I mean, if anything, she's already doing big things for the women, and she hasn't even wrestled at all. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, and just real quick too, shout out to Bayley, Naomi, and Tamina showing love to her. They were there in attendance.
Yeah, I saw that. That's nice.
So I love that sisterhood, the team bad with Bayley.
Love a good friendship.
I love that. They're always there for all their shows. I mean, I remember Bayley went to Japan to watch her at
that's friendship.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. And then went back and performed like 2 days later or the next day or some shit for WWE in her hometown. So it was like, it's crazy. So shout out to them, because that's beautiful. So, all right, Sasha, enough of AEW for now. I'm tired of talking about them. I want to talk WrestleMania.
I can do that.
So, WrestleMania has a very interesting build over the last couple of weeks. We've had the gauntlet match to determine who is going to face Gunther for the Intercontinental title, and that's where I want to start off, because last Monday we had the match. I thought it was a great match. You had 6 competitors: Ricochet, Sami Zayn, Bronson Reed, what's his name? JD, Chad Gable, and who was the 6th one? I'm missing somebody.
Wait, say them again. You said
JD, Ricochet.
You said Bronson Reed,
Sammy, Bronson Reed, Chad Gable, and there was one more. I cannot think of who it is now. Well, anyway, that person didn't win. Oh, Shinsuke.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Those were the 6. It ended up started off with Ricochet and JD, which I thought that was an excellent beginning. Much better than I thought it would be. And then we had Bronson, then it was Shinsuke. No, it was Bronson, then it was Sammy, then Shinsuke, and then ended up with Chad Gable. Gable and Sammy were the last 2. After some back and forth, Gable was getting Sami Zayn in the ankle lock. Shout out to Kurt Angle. Which Sammy then turned into basically a schoolboy and got the pin. Now there's a lot of controversy in the fan base right now. 1, because everyone wanted Chad to win. But 2, if you notice, and WWE, they kind of snuck it in the video package too. Chad Gable's shoulders were up.
Yes, I did see that.
And tonight on SmackDown, they showed it again in the clip. They didn't mention it, but they showed it. And I have a feeling that was for a reason. Now, I'm going to kind of spoil one of the matches for WrestleMania because they announced it here on SmackDown. But if you notice on SmackDown, they're doing a triple threat match for their United States title. Right?
This is true. We talked about that a couple episodes ago.
Right.
Because I said Kevin Owens should be on WrestleMania.
Yes. So they're doing Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy for the title. So I'm okay with them doing a triple threat for the Intercontinental title as well. You got Chad, Sammy, and Gunther. Chad can argue his shoulders weren't down. And I think that's a way that you can insert him in the match. What say you?
I mean, if they're going to keep showing it, then it's got to be a reason. Chad did have the most compelling story. Like, Sammy's just the proverbial underdog, isn't it? Like, that's his whole thing. But, I mean, like I said, Chad does have the the best story. Now, my question to you is: even if they do the triple threat, does Gunther lose?
Yes. Chad finishes his story. But it's not Gunther to take the pin.
I don't know.
I think it's WWE's way of not pinning Gunther, but get the title off of him. Because you want to move Gunther up. It's time. I think Gunther.
But then I guess that depends on who's going to be the champion, and then I guess my next question is like, when are they doing the draft this year? I wonder.
So I don't know then. That I don't know. Now I have an answer for that previous question you had. Who's going to win the title? Or it depends on who's going to win the title. I have an answer for that. I don't want to give that answer out yet. I think I've said it kind of before, but I'm going to save that. I just think that it does depend on that. If they decide to do that, the finish I believe they're going to do. I want to save that kind of for the our like WrestleMania preview. So I don't want to give those answers out.
Okay.
But I will say this. I think that they will do the triple threat because Chad needs to be on WrestleMania. The fans want it. It's obvious they want it. The way they did that finish, it tells me that's what they're going to do. And the what do you call those vignettes they've been doing push to the fact that Chad is going to be an Intercontinental Champion. He wants to put a smile on his daughter's face. That's a beautiful storyline.
No, I agree. I just wonder where Gunther's gonna go after this. I don't know. I don't know.
You ship him up to the top.
Well, yeah, but then that's why I asked, like, when I wonder when they're gonna do the draft, because I know you're not gonna say your answer until our show, which is fine. But
the draft. The draft doesn't affect him. He ain't going off of Raw. I can tell you that. He ain't leaving Raw.
But I'm saying, like, who's like? I guess we can we can table this into the WrestleMania discussion because I have questions about that. Because if you're saying that he's gonna win, then my next thing is, okay, what next?
So
like,
actually,
who's he gonna challenge?
Let me correct myself. I'm not sure where he's gonna go because I forgot there's a big there. We may not get the draft. We may not get the draft till the fall.
I think last year's draft was a couple weeks after Mania.
Yes, I know, but we're probably not gonna get it to the fall. I'm gonna tell you why. If you remember, when they did the draft last year, they did it by Fox executives had like a little room, and then USA Network had a little room. You remember they did that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't do that this year because Fox is not going to be the people at the end of the year. We're leaving Fox literally in like a few months. I believe like October or something. I think that's when it is. SmackDown's going to USA. And then NXT's going to CW. And then Raw at next year is going to Netflix. So I can see WWE. And what's weird too is that Raw is not going to have a home for like 3 months, technically.
Right.
Because they're leaving USA early. So that alone right there is a little crazy, unless they do a little extension. But I can see them doing a Netflix executive board and USA again. Like I can see them doing that, so they may keep the draft till later. Because of that. Now, if they don't, let's say everything stays as is, right?
Right.
Then I would say that Gunther would be best to stay on Raw. And he's gonna go after the Raw champion. So the Raw champion would be the World Heavyweight Champion, right?
Correct.
So that's either Drew McIntyre or Seth Rollins. I think we could put 2 and 2 together as to who he's going after. Because one person has a feud already. The other one technically doesn't have one after. We're talking about after Mania, of course. After Mania, he doesn't technically have one. But then the question is, what happens to your boy? That's the whole like that throws the wrench in the whole thing. Is what happens with your boy?
I really can't wait till our Mania episode because I have some theories on that myself.
And I can't wait either because I have some. God. So wait, Mania is what? Literally, Mania is going to basically be our next episode.
That's correct.
So our next episode is going to be crazy because that's going to be full WrestleMania only, basically. And we're going to be just throwing out some theories. Obviously our predictions are like everything. It's going to be a crazy episode. And we're going to throw a whole, like, we got to build this episode up. We're going to hype this episode because next episode is going to be crazy, people. Not saying this episode ain't great, but next episode, you know how AEW got big business? AEW big business for Dynamite? This is a special episode for the Ring Chance podcast. We got to give it a special name. That's how hype we going to be.
We'll get right on that.
I need a graphic, Sasha. Get up there. Start working on it.
I was about to say, like, that's my job anyway. So
I know. There you go. Yo, she does great jobs, by the way. I know you guys see our graphics every episode. That's all Sasha. I have nothing to do with that.
Thank
all
you.
Sasha. So
Between my children, I managed to do a little graphic.
I don't know how you do it, but we love you for it.
Thank you.
We all love you for it. All right, so we got that. Let's see what else. Let's talk about the main events because that's a big deal, obviously, heading into WrestleMania. And when I mean main events, of course, we know night one main event has become official. Is going to be the final boss, The Rock, and the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, versus Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, and Seth freaking Rollins. On night one, with the stipulation is if the Bloodline win, then night two's main event, which we all know is the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, it will become a Bloodline rules match. And if Cody and Seth win night one, then it will just be a regular match with no Bloodline interference at all, no anything. It's just one-on-one, mano-y-mano. Sasha.
So, so they specifically said, and maybe I'm just looking too hard into this. They said specifically no Bloodline interference, correct?
Correct. There would be nothing. That was
Bloodline specifically. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. I'll save it to our next show.
You please do. Please do. What are your thoughts on, without going in prediction mode? Because like I said, we gotta sell our next episode, Sasha. We gotta keep the lights on. Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
Discuss your thoughts on the match, the premise of the match that was announced, the storyline surrounding it. I'm not sure. Did you watch SmackDown yet tonight?
No, I haven't got to watch it yet.
Okay. So I won't mention that. Just everything surrounding the matches for night one and night two main event. Sasha, go ahead.
Well, This is so hard because I don't want to give a prediction. I mean,
Okay, how about this? How do you like the build so far?
it's fine. They pivoted. I think this was the best way to do it. Like I said, a couple years ago, I don't know if they would have pivoted. I don't know if Vince would have, listened. I don't know, but it's definitely it's interesting for sure. It's different. I was thinking about what you said a couple episodes ago about Seth continuously, worried about Bloodline, and I saw where Drew, he kind of mentioned, I think he mentioned to Drew, like, he's not worried about him. That's why he's so involved in Bloodline business. And I think that was a huge mistake. Like, man, to me, that just said right there, like, yo, Drew is winning. And I thought that was really silly of Seth to say. Like, I know what he was trying to do, like, oh, you don't matter. But it's like, bro, like, you can't, that's just not smart to overlook somebody. Like, he's not some just random jamoke that you could just look over. Like, so that, to me, that kind of cemented, like, that's an interesting little comment to make. But if they're going to go with it, that's fine. I do kind of feel for Bayley, though, because I see people mentioning, like, she won the Royal Rumble. And I feel like out of all the matches that are going on, it's not to say that Damage Control and Bayley, they haven't been given TV time, because they have been. Ample TV time, ample time to build a story. But, man, this Cody, Bloodline, Seth, Rock thing, it's kind of taken over. And that's like the one thing I will say. It's like that, does it really have to main event both nights? Like, is it? I don't know. That's the only thing I'd be like, oh, that's kind of unfortunate for Bayley. But, I get it. At the end of the day, it's a business. And that'll have more eyes on it, I suppose. But it's fine. The build has been consistent. They pivoted. It's fine. Like I said, I really can't say too much without, going into our next episode. So,
well, I have definitely enjoyed the build up to it. I wish Cody did a little bit more. So if you go back to last Raw, he had the whole, I made a joke about it earlier. The crying thing. He was talked about Dusty, how he won't be able to hand that belt to Dusty, but he'll be able to hand it to his mom. It was definitely emotional. I get that.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so for him to. I know they make fun of him for crying, but I mean, that's a.
Yeah, and I love the Cody crying thing. Don't get me wrong. The only thing I want the crying thing. Don't get me wrong, but I need some anger too.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. Like, I need Cody to be angry.
Well, after the full Rock pull tonight, he better be angry. He better.
Well, yeah. Okay. So you know what happened?
Huh?
You know what happened tonight, then?
Yeah, I did see that. So.
Oh, okay.
That foolishness. Look, what I need to happen is The Rock goes to visit his daughter, who's the GM in NXT, and as he's walking in the most dangerous place in the world, the NXT parking lot, I need Cody just to pull up. That's what I need. It can't just be it needs to be the NXT parking lot, and I need that shit to go south immediately. That's what needs to happen.
I get that. That would be cool. I feel like that's the only thing we need a Stone Cold Steve Austin moment from Cody.
He needs to call Tony D'Angelo. That's what he needs to do.
The dawn of NXT. All you gotta do is snap his fingers.
Snap his fingers. That's it. Have you seen Dragunov since Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's real shit. He didn't really do nothing. He didn't even do nearly as much as The Rock did, and look what happened to him. I'm just saying.
That's true. Damn. You got me with that one.
I'm saying. You
said
that Cody needs to stop crying. He had the right to be emotional, but you want to see him angry. That's anger.
Yeah, I think this is the way to do it. And if you're The Rock, like if you want to get Cody to the next level. So Cody, let's get real about Cody real quick. Okay.
Okie dokie.
Cody is the face, like he's the top face of the WWE, right? Would you agree with that?
Yes, he's very popular. I've been to a show and people freaking love him, so I would agree.
So what's the next level of just being the top face?
As in what context? Like, what do you mean the next level?
So you could be the top face of the top good guy of the company, right?
Right.
But the next level is being the actual face of the company.
Okay. I was wondering, like, what?
So how do you get Cody there? Because right now, we all know who the face of the company is. It's Roman.
See.
But Roman is obviously he's eventually going to fade out because we know he's doing part-time schedules. And two, it's probably he's talked about, it's probably coming to an end soon. I don't see Roman as a guy that's going to be wrestling every year for the next like 5 years. Like, let's be honest. Like, he's probably going to wrestle maybe another year or two, and it wouldn't even surprise me he ends it after like, another Mania or two, right? But you're gonna need a guy to carry the company and be your John Cena. You're gonna need that. Now, to get Cody to that level, he needs to have like a moment, like certain moments. You look at Stone Cold Steve Austin, how he had stunning Vince McMahon. That put him boom. He had the whole beer truck thing. That put him there. Boom. Like he had all these special moments, and then he was clearly like the face of the company. Cody hasn't really. He had his one moment so far of his career in WWE, and his second run was what? It was, to me, the Hell in a Cell match.
Yes, when he took off that jacket.
He took off the jacket and still wrestled and had a fantastic match. He won the Rumble twice. But the one thing he hasn't gotten is he hasn't gotten the gold. But you have to build triumph. You have to build obstacles for him to overcome. Because the hero doesn't just beat the villain and then that's it. First, the world has to almost end for the hero to save it, right? That's what Rock is doing. Rock is creating I'm going to end the world right now. All I got to do is press this button. Now Cody needs to come save the day.
Right.
And that moment to get Cody to his lowest, you have to attack the one thing Cody probably loves more than anything. And that's his family. He loves the memory of Dusty. He loves his mother. He loves his wife, his daughter, and Pharaoh. Like, those are the 5 things Cody loves.
I would appreciate the dog catching strays, by the way.
Hey, anyone can get it. It's the final boss.
Though,
the final boss can say whatever the hell he wants.
I guess.
And in that sense, I've attacked the dog. I kind of attacked Dusty a little bit. He didn't go in because obviously Rock respects Dusty, but he hasn't gone really in on Dusty. He's attacked the mom.
Which that's why I said what I said.
Cody gonna have to say something to that. But you know what Rock really needs to do? He need to pull up on Brandy. What up, mama? Start shaking the leg. Whoa, big fella. That's what he needs to do. I need Brandy in the crowd. I need Rock to walk the Brandy in the crowd. Hold on, big fella. I need another Lillian Garcia moment. That's what I need. I want Cody so angry that he beats up every security guard that they try to put in front of him to stop Rock and Roman escape. And it's just Cody just beating up everybody. Cody Cutter. Road. What do you call it? Crossroads. I need all that on every security guard in the damn building. Wrestlers come out to try to stop him. He beats them all up. Like, I need that. That's the moment we need. Cody angry as fuck. Because the crying thing, it works. It gets the emotions. We feel for Cody. But at the end of the day, though, we don't want a crybaby as the face. And that's what Rock is trying to tell you secretly. Those Cody crybabies. It's no wonder they're crybabies, because their captain is a crybaby too. Okay, I'm a crybaby. Okay, MFer. Watch what I'm about to do. And that's going to help put Cody to that ball.
All I'm saying is there's no reason for him to get his hands dirty. I've already given you a solution. That's it. Walk in with your nice suits. He has like, how many suits does he have, I wonder? And then
Cody's got a suit for every day of the week.
I see.
And then every day of the year. They're tailor-made. He doesn't wear the same suit twice. I'm lying. He wears the suit several times. He loves the blue suit, but still.
All I'm saying is, don't get your little suit dirty. Call up your boy. You know a guy. Because, I mean, think about it. Cody had a streak a couple months ago where he was just on everybody's show doing everything. So, hey, I'm sure he knows a guy who knows a guy. And this can get done. This is what I think is happening.
You don't need to know. Cody don't need to be talking. Look. Ava will shut that down quickly.
You don't gotta talk to her.
It don't matter.
This could be off the books. This could be under the table.
No, Ava knows. Look, Ava knows exactly who Cody would call.
Whatever. And Ava should stay out of grown folks' business. She needs to stay out of grown folks' business.
I will strip Dawn of his championship title match at Stand and Deliver. Okay.
So to that I say, so we can just talk about your mama and you're not gonna do nothing? Oh, okay.
Now you know what Cody really needs to do?
What?
He does need to go to NXT. He does. He need to attack Ava. Get Brandy to beat her ass. That's what he needs to do.
Now. Let's not bring this turn into this. Now.
Yup. Get Brandy to beat her ass. You want to be a wrestler? All right.
But he's not anymore. So
nah, you want to be a GM? I'll show you a GM. Smack.
Okay.
That's what Brandy need to do. Get Brandy in this. Yeah. There you go.
Like my idea was a little bit more suitable for television.
What's Rock gonna do? Rock gonna call up his cousin Nia? All right, Nia, you want some Brandy? Smack. Get out of here.
Now you're taking
it out of my face. Oh, you gonna call Tamina because you bought her a house? Smack, get her out of my face. That's what we need.
Now we've gone off the rails. Okay, let's move on.
Shout out to Brandy though. But I love the story going into it. At the end of the day, I love what they're doing. Continue it. But what I do need, you know what the story really needs? We need
to pay a scumbag to take The Rock out.
Well, I get that. But what we really need, this story needs The Rock to show up on Monday Night Raw, March 18th, Raleigh, North Carolina. That's what this story needs. That's all I'm saying.
You're really, really hoping for this.
Yeah, I know it's not going to happen, but I need that.
Well, no, if you pull the live, I can't fault you for that. You know, it's okay.
One person I want to see in professional wrestling. Like, I don't care about anything. I've seen Will Ospreay. I've seen Tony Khan more than I've seen The Rock. I've never seen The Rock, but I've seen Tony Khan's bum ass. Like, whatever. Let me stop. Why is it that my favorites I never see? Never seen Sasha, never seen The Rock, never seen Austin. But, you know, whatever. It's just, you know. I guess that's just the way it is, right? That's life. That's life.
Such is life.
Oh man. Let's get into the WrestleMania more. So I'm going to list the matches that's been announced so far. I know you didn't see SmackDown yet, but I'm just gonna announce the matches anyway.
I figured that out. So,
so the matches we have basically official for WrestleMania. We don't know the matches as far as night 1 and night 2, except for 3 of them. But we have Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso, AJ Styles versus LA Knight, Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship, Io versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. We got Judgment Day in the 6-pack ladder match for the unified WWE Tag Team titles. So we do have qualifying matches. I'll have 3 of them on Raw. So we'll have Indus versus Awesome Truth, DIY versus Creed Brothers. That should be a great match.
Yeah, look at that. Look what you're getting. I know it's not The Rock, but you're getting that.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome.
But I hate the fact that they're facing each other because I would like them both in those matches, but that's okay.
That's true.
And then New Day versus Alpha Academy. So those are 3 of the qualifying matches. And then SmackDown, this was confusing because I didn't understand this. SmackDown's actually having like a tournament to decide 2 teams joining. Where Raw's just having those 3 matches. So on SmackDown, we had Legado del Fantasma. They moved up in the tournament, and they're going to be facing the team of Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. They're going to be teams. So they both won their matches, so they're going to face each other, I believe, in 2 weeks. To determine who's going to move into the tournament or who's going to move into the WrestleMania match. Next week, we're going to get Street Profits and AOP. They're going to face each other. And then we're going to get OC versus Austin Theory and what's his name?
Grayson Waller.
There you go. Mine just went blank. Sorry. So we're going to get those 2. Then the winner of those 2 matches will face each other the following week. And then those 2 teams that win will be inserted into the match. So
that's a lot going on.
Yeah. So we're going to know 4 teams after Monday. And then we'll know the other 2 teams in 2 weeks, basically. From what I understand.
So 2 questions for you. One, How do you feel that the OC is on NXT? And then 2, how do you feel that they're still not splitting up the titles?
So I can't answer number 2 yet. But number 1, I'll answer number 1. The OC on NXT is perfect.
Okay, that's what I thought too. I like it because they weren't doing anything before.
They weren't doing anything, but they're also an experienced team that can help uplift the tag team division in NXT.
Exactly.
So I love it for that fact.
Look at Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin is living his best life. Man, it's thriving.
Correct. Yeah, and I think that's also helped building Braun at the same time. So Braun's coming up with a fan base from NXT. I think his help with his tag team help from, that whole team work that they're doing is just helping his stardom grow. And when he does become just a mainstay on SmackDown, it's just going to make him a bigger star. So I love everything that they're doing with that. What are they called? The Wolf Dogs or something like that?
Something.
Hey,
so the man's living.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's great. And then the OC is just going to help uplift not only them, but they're also going to help those other teams, like I mentioned. So I think it's a great move for them. And then the second question, I can't answer that because I have an answer, but I can't tell you yet. We got to save that for next week.
Understood.
All right, then the next match, Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. That's the official match right now, but I think that I think that we're under the belief that that's going to change based off our conversation. I think a triple threat is going to happen for that. We do have Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship. I will be seeing Becky Lynch and Nia Jax in the last women's standing match, so that is another good match that I'll be able to see on Raw. That's happening this Monday, so that's cool. We're going to have Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. And then, of course, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship. So, based on those matches, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are 10 matches so far. How would you rate the match card for WrestleMania so far? And then, what matches would you add to this card?
Well, I mean, I'll give it a 7. And I know we got some big matches, but there's still a lot of people that are left off. And to answer your question, with the Women's World Heavyweight title, it's like, all right, so where does like a Nia Jax fall? Where does a Liv Morgan fall? Because they've been in the mix with this whole thing with Becky. And then still, there's nothing for Bianca Belair. There's nothing. No Tiffy time, nothing. Those are, and as we talked about in our previous show, like when we were, workshopping matches, like those were the 2 matches. It was Bianca and Tiffany, and then Nia, and I had her against Jade. It's like, is Jade going to be on Mania? You had her in the Rumble. So yeah, those are, man, I don't know. And you brought Naomi back. Like, I know she was, involved in SmackDown tonight. Man, I'm trying to think of who else used to be on the show. I thought for the most part, they, is what's going to happen with Ray. And, is him and Santos going to carry this on? So, yeah, I'd give it a 7. There's a lot of matches, but I still think there's some where it's like, okay, where's X, Y, and Z going to be? And then if they're still going to squeeze Andre I know that's not going to be on the card most likely, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And I bring that up because I was just watching WrestleMania 30, and I watched the first one with Cesaro, which is such a cool moment. And I'm still like, they could have done so much with my guy. But no, I really wish they're going to do it this year, that they really give somebody something else besides the trophy. The trophy itself, Andre the Giant, that's already a huge thing. But I also want something else to go with it, like a title shot or something. But yeah, just, I don't know. There's some people that are being left off, and I'm like, okay, we only have a couple weeks, guys. And in some of these, like, I feel like as much as I really enjoy the Triple H era and things are really interesting, I feel like some of the matches have a lot of story going on, and then some of them don't really have a lot going on, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense.
Right?
Can I ask you, can you give me an example of one that you're saying that for?
So I feel like, obviously, the Cody Rhodes, Rock, Roman, Seth, that's a lot going on. A lot going on, right?
Right.
But then I feel like, let me see. Like LA Knight and AJ, how many interactions have they had since Elimination Chamber?
So they've had individual promos,
but no interaction between the two of them.
None until tonight.
Okay. And then I'm trying to think of.
But I will say though, to be fair, which they can argue this against your point. I understand what you're saying, But what they could argue though is that is the whole point of the feud, is that LA
But
Knight
AJ
is
is
saying
ducking him?
AJ is ducking him. So if I get the point, but in a way they use that as the reason. It's not a good
okay.
one, but I get it.
All right. So then, the other thing is, and it's to my point earlier, you have a lot going on with Becky and Liv and Nia,
Yes.
and you're selling the match as Becky and Rhea. So after this last woman standing match, and let's say Liv interferes, unless, so if you're selling that's going to be the match, Becky and Rhea, what happens with Liv and Nia?
That's a good question.
You're doing all of this, but it's like and it's fine because she has beef with Nia. That made sense. Adding Liv, it definitely makes it interesting. But then it's like at the end of the day, it's just going to be those two. And then again, you don't have Bianca on the show. Are the women's world tag team champions going to be on the show? Like the Kabuki Warriors? Are they going to have like another showcase? Like,
I have an answer for that.
okay.
And yes, they will have a match.
Okay.
They will. But the thing is, the story, it still has to continue. It's gonna happen, and they've been teasing it already. Like I think we already know who they're gonna face. It's weird because it's weird only because the person who said it, they teased it last week. So do you remember the promo? Well, it wasn't even a promo. Do you remember the segment with Naomi?
Yeah, her and Bianca.
Yes. I think that's what they're going to go with. They do Bianca and Naomi against Damage Control.
That's such a weird...
It's not. It's weird because Bianca's going to be technically helping the person that she just said, I don't feel bad for. But what if that's the plan? What if there's a bigger picture?
And that would be?
What if WWE is kind of slowly building someone to the dark side?
So you'd have her join up with Naomi to eventually turn on Naomi?
Not technically Naomi, but yes. The person that's been causing me hell has been, for the last year and a half or 2 years, whatever it's been Bayley, right?
Right.
Now, Naomi is friends with Bayley.
This
We
is
know
true.
that.
Yes, this is true.
So Bayley's now trying to be good. I'm supposed to forgive this girl because she got
like the
turned
reverse
on.
Jey Uso.
That's what. If you remember, Bianca said she deserves that. She deserved to get turned on, right?
All right, Drew McIntyre. Okay.
Now, what if Bianca turns on? Now Bianca's gonna get her revenge on Bayley. Bayley's the reason she's not champion. Just saying. That's what I would
technically do. EO is, but
damage control. Who created EO? At the end
still,
of the day, it's all part of
EO
the
won
plan,
the.
right?
I mean, still, EO won the briefcase, and with no thanks to Bayley because she handcuffed her to the thing. So,
but that's my point. At the end of the day, who made EO? Who brought EO back to WWE?
I get where you're. No, EO was there. She was just on NXT. That was Dakota she brought back.
EO was gonna leave WWE.
I don't know about that, but
no, I'm telling you, that EO was leaving WWE. Bayley was not Bayley. Obviously Dakota was already gone, but EO was gonna leave because she didn't have a place.
They weren't pushed. She was in a place of limbo. So she was gonna leave.
So okay, so let me just throw this out there.
Yes.
If all this, okay, so you have this idea, Bianca and Naomi, okay, fine, but what was all this stuff before Elimination Chamber, where you were kind of planting seeds with Bianca and Tiffany? Because didn't she slap Bianca, right? And they had this tension going into the match. And I think there was even like an interview where the person asked Tiffany, who did she want at WrestleMania? And she said Bianca. I feel like that would make more sense.
I agree. I would, if it was me, I would do Bianca and Tiffany.
Because you brought this girl up. You have her getting all these wins. If nothing else, you get a good match out of it. I feel like, if nothing else. But they're two strong personalities. I feel like, again, this is more of a, some are getting a lot of stories, and then some of them are just kind of like, they're kind of like half formed. It's not that I'm still gonna watch Mania like this. I'm preparing myself for this. I've already decided my children are going to bed early. I've already figured out what I'm gonna eat. You know, this is just happening. But I don't know.
Yeah, I took vacation the whole week, so
yeah, there's like a lot going on. There's a lot going on, but then it's kind of like something just feels kind of off about it, you know?
I will say this. I agree with what you're saying. Your whole assessment of the situation is correct. Whereas the WWE is in a place where they are building a lot of stories stronger than the others, which is normal. However, you do want some type of understanding and balance to it. So if you're going to incorporate Nia Jax, for example, and Liv into the Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley story, but you still want to keep that match between Rhea and Becky, because we all know that's the money match, right? Yeah. Those are two of the top women. You can argue those are the top two women in your company. At least two out of the top three for sure. You want to keep that match. But at the same time, I think what WWE is doing, at least the way I'm seeing what Triple H is doing, is he's using Rhea and Becky to help build two other women for the future. So they may not be a part of Mania per se, but they will at least be built up that they're going to be credible people to face down the line. So the reason why I think, let's say the match on Monday, right? The last woman standing match. Yes, that's going. We already know who's going to win that match. We know it's Becky. But what is the storyline with Becky? The storyline with Becky is that she lost her title, and she has to basically been building her way up. But the one person she cannot beat is Nia Jax. So how is it that she can't beat Nia Jax, but she wants to beat Rhea Ripley, who Rhea Ripley just beat Nia Jax in the main event of a pay-per-view that just happened, right? For Becky to see herself on that level again, because she, but does she know that she can beat Nia Jax? Like, how could you say you're the best, but you can't be a person that the person you're facing for the title already beat? In the same time, Liv is the woman that she got injured by the champion. She's missed the last
close to a year, right? It was like 6 months, right? Or 7, something like that.
Yeah.
She got injured by the champion. She wants her revenge. She is a former champion. She is, on the top. When you're building your women's roster, Liv is one of the names up top, right? She's kind of like she's in the A tier of your roster for women. But the thing about it is Liv's not at that point where she can sell a pay-per-view by herself. She's not one of your top women. Like your faces on the. Sorry, my mic keeps messing up. She's not your Bianca. She's not your Becky. She's not your Rhea. But you want to build her to that level to eventually get there. The only way I see her being able to actually get there is you kind of want to slightly turn her into the character that she's never been. She's never really been the heel as a solo artist, a solo wrestler. She was only heel when she was a part of Riot Squad. Am I correct?
From my recollection, yes.
So you're turning her into something new. That way, she can be. She's not going to be the main event. She's not going to be in the Mania, but you can use that as a way for her to be in next Mania. And it may be a down point for her now, but you use it as a way to make it a upgrade later. And I think
that's a fair point.
So
but what about Nia?
The direction they're going now for Nia, I think the best thing for Nia, and I think this is what WWE. If I'm Triple H, this is what I tell Nia. And I think if I was him, I probably already had this conversation with her. Look, Nia, you're probably not going to be a part of WrestleMania. But what I will tell you this, I'm giving you the main event of the show before in your home country, technically, right? And you're going to be used as a way to build everyone else. And I think Nia is under that impression. Yes, she's done a great job. I would say that this is probably Nia's best run.
I agree.
She's doing her job perfectly well. She has helped building Becky. You can argue she's helped build Rhea as well. She's helped building Liv in her own way. She helped build Jade. And Jade hasn't been seen since. But she's built her. That's 4 women that she's helping build for the future.
What could have been?
But I will tell you this. I think Nia will be at WrestleMania. And I think Nia will be wrestling at WrestleMania against Jade.
You think she'll just like bogart the show and be
I think that
I
on
came,
Monday
I
night,
did all of this and blah blah blah, and I deserve to be on the show, and then Jade comes and then
no, I think it's just perfectly. It's gonna be something similar to this, but not in that way. I think Monday night, Jade is introduced as a Raw superstar.
Boy, that sounds familiar.
She signs a contract with Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, after this, so Jade gets signed, Nia loses. Next week, Jade gets all this hoopla, and Nia Jax comes out and kind of like interrupts it, and that sets up their match at Mania. It's gonna be like a 2-minute match. That's not 2 minutes. I'll say like 5-minute match. Jade destroys Nia, but she's done her job, and that helps establish Jade at WrestleMania. That's what I predict. I know I need to save that for next episode, but it's a squash match basically. So fuck it. You know, it is what it is. That's what I say happens.
Okay, well, let's see.
And if that happens, I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Someone needs to run me my money.
Not only do I need someone to run me my money,
whoa! They are running me my money.
What you mean? Well, you called. Okay. You did kind of call that.
Just outlined everything I said.
You did.
Okay,
but I'm just
I'll
saying exactly.
I'll split it with you.
Yeah, I'll take a quarter of it for sure, because I'm just outlining the specific day it happens. I don't know when on your timeline you put it, but I'm gonna say this Monday night I'm gonna get that to happen.
I mean, essentially, I had it to where they didn't really have a lot of physical contact till like the week before. So it was basically kind of like what it is now. Like, Nia's wrestling some matches. Jade gets signed. Hoopla. She comes out. She says some things. So, I mean, there's still time.
That's true. I think we probably won't get... So, let me ask you this. We know 10 matches. How many more matches do you think are going to be added in total?
2 or 3 more, maybe?
2 or 3 more? Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that, because I think the last two WrestleManias, there was about 14 matches. Yeah. So, in that sense, we're still going to get 4 more. Around 4 more. So, if anything, I say a Jade match. I think we get the women's tag team titles. Although I will say this, there was a little scary moment to me that happened tonight. I'm not 100% sure what happened, but there was a moment that your girl Asuka was limping.
Uh-oh.
So hopefully everything is fine. I don't know if anyone... I mean, it was kind of obvious she was limping, but I hopefully it's nothing serious. I don't know what happened. But yes, I just wanted to say that. But I'm expecting Jade match. I'm expecting a women's tag team title match. It's gonna be Naomi and somebody. I can at least say that. I just don't know who right now. I was expecting Sasha, but obviously they can't. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what else can be added right now. I'm not 100% sure. I wanted a Tiffany Stratton match, but I don't. The only match that makes sense would be her and Bianca. So if it's not that, then I don't. Maybe Tiffany won't be on this card, but I think that would be a mistake if she's not up there, unless they do like a women's battle royal and Tiffany wins.
Maybe.
But, yeah, I mean that's the only thing I could think of. But those are at least 2 matches for sure. But I think there should be at least 3 or 4 more matches. So I do agree with you on that. Unless the Rock and Roman tag team matches and the final match ends, they last like 2 hours.
Well, let's not.
Speaking of time, do you like the idea of being thrown around where WrestleMania or all pay-per-views, for example, would be starting at 7:00 Eastern? Do you like that idea?
I mean, it's going to be 5:00 for me, so to me, it doesn't matter. Like, me personally, it doesn't matter, because my plan to watch WrestleMania was I was going to stay off my phone and tell you not to text me, and I was going to watch it like a couple hours after it started, so I could just like sit and watch it by myself. But like, I could see that being a positive for the people that are there. You know, because they, to get there earlier and you get out earlier, that's good. Especially like on those Sunday nights, where WrestleMania night 2, that's got work tomorrow. Some people got to travel. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah,
I've done it where I've gone to WrestleMania on a Sunday and we just drove back that night, and it was tough. But I think people like underestimate, like, if you travel somewhere to go see a PLE, you're tired the next day, man. Like, I don't think I've ever been to. I lied. I've been to one. I guess it was pay-per-view at the time where it was in Houston, which wasn't a problem. But like any other PLE I've been to, I've traveled, and you're like tired the next day, man. So yeah, any chance of getting people in a little earlier would be nice.
Well, I can just speak to this. I mean, I went to the Revolution, AEW Revolution. That was about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, or two and some change, like 2 hours and 15 minutes away. Mm-hmm. The show started at 7. It didn't end till after 12. Yes, and then I drove home after. So I didn't go home till like 3 a.m., 3:30. And I left my house at like 4:30. You know what I'm saying? So it was basically 11 hours in total, you know, of watch time and then driving. So I can understand that. I can understand the 7 o'clock Eastern time. It's harder for the Eastern people. You guys have it look easy on the Central and Western side. I kind of hate that, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. But it's kind of unfair that we gotta stay up late to watch these shows, and you get, you know, it's afternoon basically for you guys.
Whatever. Like I said, I'm 2 of my kids. One of them is learning. I mean, out of 3 of them, only one can fully just tell time, just amazingly. The other 2, well, the second one he's learning. And the little one, he just doesn't care. My plan is I'm going to tire them out and put them in bed early.
At 5 o'clock?
No. Like, they usually go to bed like 8:30, 8:45. I might just dial it back to 8. Because I want to watch my show. Like, I cannot. Yeah,
dang,
like,
so
I'm not going to watch it
late.
live. Yeah, I'm not
going to be over by the time you watch it.
But listen. When you have children, you'll do what you need to do to get peace. Because every year I say the same thing. I try to watch it live. I give a big speech. Nobody bother me. Leave me alone. I go in the room. I close the door. And what happens? They bother me every
I put a lock on that door.
They're still going to be like, they're going to knock on the door.
I ain't gonna bother
little
me.
Hands under the door.
I will put a surround sound system in my room.
You'll see the little hands under the door. They'll slip notes. They will do
I will put a towel under the door. They can't slip nothing.
That's why they're going early.
I will abandon them for that day.
Look, they're going to bed early so that I can watch.
I'm putting sleeping pills in their cereal. I swear.
Look, you're not about to give me hems up and in somebody's jail. I have my plan. They're going to bed early. I'm gonna order my food.
What you ordering? What are you having for?
I'm just gonna have pizza. Nothing egregious. Okay. Yeah, because anything else, like if you door dashing, it's expensive.
Yeah.
And plus, it's gonna be 2 nights, so I'm just probably gonna eat half the pizza and then save the rest for the next day.
I'm making wings. That's my plan.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna have people over or not. But
I don't like watching wrestling with other people.
So I don't either. It depends on who it is. So if it's my boy, shout out to my boy Brandon. If it's him, I love watching wrestling. That's what I went to Revolution with. That's what I went to. Basically, I'm going to Raw with. Like we on the same page when it comes to wrestling. Like we had the same mindset. It's kind of crazy. So I love watching wrestling with him. But like I've watched wrestling with some other people that, let's just say, they watch wrestling, but there's different levels to it. Like me and you could watch wrestling and be amazing, right? Because you know wrestling, you know the ins and outs, you know what's happening. Whereas someone else was just, they know about it, but they don't know like the details. It's hard to watch with them because they're not understanding the grander picture. So I'm getting excited for something that's about to happen, and they're like, "What the fuck, you left?" Like they don't expect it because they don't know enough. And it's
I can understand that.
It's so hard to watch that. Like, or they don't like you hear the music. Like, I remember, was it what was that event they had? No, I think it was Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank in London, right? Was that the one where John Cena arrived? He came out randomly. Okay.
Yeah.
Cena came out. I was watching it with somebody, and they didn't know what the fuck to think. They was just like, they didn't hear they heard the music, but they didn't know what it was. It wasn't until they saw the person that they were like, "Oh, John Cena." Where me, the minute I heard his song, I jumped. I was like, "Oh!" Like, I'm going crazy. They didn't know what the fuck I was. I'm like, bro, how you not know? This is John Cena. Like, really? You know, it's just that. Like, or if you hear if you hear glass in wrestling, what do you think?
That's awesome.
Thank you. That if you watch wrestling with someone who doesn't know the glass break, get them out of their house. Kick them out immediately.
No, I take wrestling like it's my thing. Everybody leave me alone. I don't get a lot of things to myself, so leave me alone. That's right. My whole thing on it. Just go away. Because then they want to ask me questions, and I'm like, I'm not answering this.
See, that's why you got to watch it only, like, that's why I love watching it with my boy Brandon, because Brandon knows wrestling just like I do. And he ain't going to ask me shit. I ain't going to ask him shit. We'll talk about, like, basically, like, if me and him had a show, it's basically us, like, predicting the future. It's like me talking to you. Like, that's the level.
And it's not to say that, like, I wouldn't watch with somebody who's a casual, because I've done that before. Like, I've had family members that they know I'm into it and they'll try to watch it with me, and that doesn't bother me. It's just like, again, if you have kids, you'll notice they can't stop at one question. It
depends on the which pay-per-view though. If it's WrestleMania, shut the hell up.
Yeah, like I've already told them, like, this is like my Christmas. Like, don't bother me. Like,
this is the Super Bowl. This is everything. Like, this is imagine it's like this. I'll tell you, it's as much as this. If the New York Jets are in the Super Bowl, I'm not having no Super Bowl party. It's just gonna be me watching that game in my Jets jersey and praying to the gods that we win. Because if anyone says anything, I'm punching them in the face.
Yeah, I always say, like, Thanksgiving, the day I get my tax refund, and WrestleMania. Those are my three. And the Rumble. Those are my favorite days of the year. My birthday, Mother's Day, whatever. Christmas, really for the kids. This is my time. Everybody needs to go out.
That. Speaking of tax return, man, that's such a joke. How much taxes I fucking pay, and I'm getting like $200, man. Whatever. I think it's a joke. I just wanted to say that. I'm frustrated.
I'm sorry.
I need kids just so I can get a fucking tax break or whatever it is.
No, you don't.
That's like, I'm about to have a kid just to claim
one. No, you don't. Because then the refund you get back, like, when I got mine back immediately, I had like a spreadsheet of shit that I had to buy.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not the right answer. That's not the solution, my friend.
Okay.
Because that shit immediately goes back into the house or what they need. Like, I was lucky enough this year to be able to buy myself some clothes. And all I do is just buy shirts. That's all I really bought. I needed shirts.
I need some jeans, bro. I've been holding off on buying jeans for like 2 years. I've been wearing like the same 4 pairs of jeans and just washing them and reusing them. It's just bad. I need some new jeans.
Hey, man, it's rough out here in these streets.
I know, but damn.
Yep.
It's okay. But anyway, let's get back to let's get back to wrestling. I know it's WrestleMania does this to people, man. It's just sometimes it drives us crazy. I understand. What else do we have to say? There was something else I thought. But you know what? Whatever. I'm just excited for the announcement. Can I go ahead and announce it, Sasha?
Yes.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you, so this all started with a dream. Literally a dream. And Sasha is my witness, okay? Because literally, I had a dream, and it was like 3 a.m. my time. I texted Sasha like immediately. So she got the text at like 2 a.m., 1 a.m., something like that. And I sent her like 3 pictures. And in these pictures was this idea that I had. And the idea I had was an exclusive YouTube video for our YouTube page where I'm going to watch the main event of Raw, but I'm going to use a calendar randomizer to determine the date that I actually watch. To determine which episode of Raw on that date that pops up on the randomizer that I watch. And I'm calling this, it's going to be Ring Champs Playback PLAYA. So Ring Champs Playback PLAYA is going to be exclusively on YouTube. It's going to be a video series that we're going to think of it like a spinoff of the show that your boy Just Fino is going to be watching Raw main events, and I will be critiquing it, giving thoughts and opinions. We're going to be watching it live. Well, not live, but watching it on video. You'll be able to see the whole match with me to get my reactions, thoughts, opinions, everything. I'll have guests up there. Sasha's going to be up there one day. You know, Sasha, she wants to, you know how Sasha want to look right before she get on camera. You know.
Yeah.
So we're going to make sure Sasha gets her hair done. You know, nails, all that. We're gonna make sure Sasha looks great, you know, before she's comfortable to get on air, on camera. But we gonna get her up there, I promise. But for the meantime, it's just gonna be your boy. And eventually I'll have some other guests up there. We're gonna watch some Raw main events throughout the years. Now we're gonna start from the Attitude Era, which started on November 9th, 1997 to current day. So I'll go to the calendar randomizer. I'm going to say pick a random Monday from 1997, November 9th, 1997 to today. Pick a random Monday. Let's say it picks, let's just say randomly that January 22nd of 2012 is a Monday, right? Let's just say. I will go to that Raw episode on Peacock, go to the main event match, and we're going to watch that match on the video, and you'll see me reacting to it, giving thoughts and opinions. I'll give a rating, everything. Commentary. It's going to be crazy. Now, I think this is a great series, a great idea. Like I said, it's called Ring Champs, Playback PLAYA. Now, you're wondering where the Playback PLAYA came from. I don't know why, but for some reason, Teddy Long was in my dream as well when I was watching this. And it just kind of makes sense to play because, you know, he always says PLAYA. So it just makes sense. Plus, I'm playing the video. So it just kind of makes sense. So Playback PLAYA, basically, is the thing. Sasha's going to create a graphic for it.
I did.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. She already did. Sorry. She created a graphic for it, and it's going to be fun. It's loads of fun. I'm in right now the trials stage right now where I'm just working out the kinks. But it is coming soon. We're not going to announce a date for the first episode of it yet, but it is coming soon. Don't be surprised if it's not coming out not this Monday, but the following Monday. That's what I'm aiming for. I'll tell you that. I am aiming for that Monday. So that would be... Let me go to a calendar real quick. I believe that date would be... The 25th. I'm aiming for March 25th for the episode. For episode 1. But we'll see. I will officially announce the date next week. It'll probably be after this episode for sure that we'll announce the episode date of episode 1. And remember, it's going to be exclusively on our YouTube page, so please subscribe, share, like, so you can get all the details and stuff about that. All right, thank you so much. So yeah, Sasha, Playback PLAYA, what are your thoughts about it real quick for the people?
I can definitely co-sign that you text me in the middle of the night, like it was some kind of fever dream. And luckily, I was up, and I was like, "What?" And I read it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, sounds." And I think I texted you back the day or two after, and I was like, "Yeah, sounds good." Made the graphics, so I mean, it's original, it's different, so I look forward to it. Get more content out there.
Yeah, basically just the way to get more content, get us out there more.
And plus, it never hurts to go back and watch old wrestling. Like I said, every year I'm right now I'm watching. It's WrestleMania time, so I've been just watching old manias. I do it during the Rumble. I do it every year. Like I'm SummerSlam, I'm probably gonna watch old SummerSlam. Probably gonna watch Money in the Banks. I do it all the time. So
that's actually good. I usually watch old Rumbles. I never really watch old Mania stuff. At least not during Mania season. Just throughout the year, I would. But I'm probably gonna do that.
Do it. This year I started with, and I might like I skip around sometimes. I started with 16 because that was the first. That was my first one as a fan, and then I've been going since then. I haven't watched I have a list of my favorite ones of all time, but I haven't got too in depth. I think I'll just watch those closer to actual Mania, but I even went back and I started WrestleMania 7. I haven't seen a lot of those older ones, not in their entirety. I've seen a lot of matches from them, but
I can't say that I've watched the original Manias, like the first, prior to the Attitude Era. Mm-hmm. I can't say that I've actually sat down and watched the old Manias full through.
Yeah, I started 7 because I watched and the reason why I started with 7 is because you know how they have Superstar Sunday on A&E. Yes. I watched the Sergeant Slaughter episode.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, I want to watch WrestleMania 7. That was actually really shout out to A&E. Those are good shows. I watched that one and I watched the Scott Hall one, and I'll admit I've heard Scott Hall's story, but I might have teared up when I watched that one.
Yeah, I've never watched them. I know the next one is DDP. I know that, and then I know they're doing the rivalry. I think it's Cena and Orton for the next one. I just
watched the HBK and Undertaker one, and I think at the end of the month they're doing Roman Reigns.
Yes, I did see that. Yeah, I saw a commercial for Roman. I'll probably watch that one, of course.
The Sergeant Slaughter one to me was good. I like those kind of shows anyway, documentaries, but I didn't really know too much about Sergeant Slaughter, just little things. I knew he was WrestleMania 7 and everything, but it was actually a really good story. I had seen a documentary on Scott Hall before, but that one was really well done. I must admit I did tear up at the end of that one. And then I watched Rivalries. I'm waiting for the Hardys, Edge, Christian, and Dudley. That's the one I'm excited about.
Oh, that's what I wanted to add. Thank you for bringing that up. Because I took a picture or something right before the episode started. I wanted to ask you. Hold on one second. Let me find the picture. Okay, right here. So, Matt Hardy. There's a nice cutaway to it. Matt Hardy on his Instagram. I think he's doing this through his podcast, but on his Instagram, he had a thing where it's the greatest of all time tournament. Have you seen this?
I think I've seen it just scrolling through.
So it's a bunch of tag teams. It's basically some of the greatest. It's basically all the top tag teams in the world of all time. I mean, so I'll just give you a rundown. So it was LOD. I'm going to name all the teams that this is in order. It's 12 tag teams. 12 of the greatest tag teams of all time. You got LOD, Briscoes at 2. You have FTR, Edge and Christian, the Usos. I think NAD. I think that's Nation of NAD. I'm not sure who that is. Oh, NAO. I'm sorry. I don't know who that is.
New Age Outlaws.
Oh, yeah. Okay. New Age Outlaws. Okay. That makes sense now. The Dudleys, Young Bucks, A&A, or R&R.
I gotta think about that one.
R&R. I'm not sure about R&R or A&A. I don't know which one it is. It's hard to read that. The Steiners, New Day, Freebirds, Hardys, Midnight Express, the Hart Foundation, BB. Hold on, who's BB?
You would think
BB.
that one would come to me. Hold on.
BB. It's probably something easy I should know, but I don't know who BB is. That's not popping up in my head. But anyway, the first round was completed. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. So, in the first round is LOD versus FTR. LOD won. Now, I don't know if this is fans who picks this. I'm assuming it's fans, but I'm not sure who picks this. Like who picks the winners. But LOD beat FTR. In the first round, you got Edge and Christian versus the Usos, who were the 8th and 9th seed, by the way. I think that's a little low, but Edge and Christian beat the Usos. Then you had New Age Outlaws. I'm assuming that's them at NAO. They're the number 4 seed versus the Dudleys, who are number 13 seed, which that doesn't make sense to me. But the Dudleys did beat them. You had the Young Bucks versus the R&R or A&A. I can't, like I said, I'm not sure who that is. If it's, it looks like an A, but I think it could be an R. The Young Bucks beat them. Then you had New Day versus the Steiners. The New Day beat the Steiners. You had the Hardys versus the Freebirds. The Hardys beat the Freebirds. The Hart Foundation beat the Midnight Express. And then you had the Briscoes beat whoever BB is.
Okay, BB is the Brainbusters.
Brainbusters. Okay. So, what do you think? There has to be more teams added to this because it says 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, no. Those, yeah, they just picked the top 16 teams. I just think the Usos at number 9 and Edge and Christian at number 8 is a little low. That's definitely the Usos. But what do you think about Edge? Do you think the Edge and Christian were better than the Usos?
That's a tough
That
one.
was definitely the best matchup from this round.
Oh man, if it was me, I probably would have given it to the Usos. To be honest with you, if you
Yeah,
think about it, like they weren't even together that long. Not to say
I
that they didn't do amazing things. They did. They helped usher in a new, you know, era of tag team wrestling. They did an amazing job. It's just that I think if you step back in the totality of their careers, you're probably going to remember each of their singles run more than their tag team in a way because of what they've managed to do since. But I think the Usos,
understand
they
that.
had a lot more. They were just doing it, as a tag team for a much longer time. And what they did, they were the longest reigning tag team champions. They made events to the WrestleMania. Like, they're just both now starting to embark on a real singles career for each of them. I would
Right.
have given it to the Usos for that one.
Okay.
Legion of Doom, FTR, whew. And I looked it up. These are actually random.
Oh, it's at random. Okay.
It was
Okay.
random. Yeah, that's why it is the way it is. It was
Okay.
random.
Can I was say the Dudley Boys at 13? I don't know
Nah,
that.
it was randomized. Let's see. LOD,
That's.
FTR. Oh,
I mean, I'm gonna give it to Legion of Doom, but I'm just gonna say FTR. FTR. If I go match wise, I think FTR.
yeah.
Um,
I freaking love.
I think history wise, you go Legion of Doom.
Yeah, but
So it depends. So I guess if you're a WWE fan, you pick Legion of Doom. If you're AEW, pick wrestling wise, so you go FTR. I mean, that's tough. I'll be honest. Probably if it was my personal choice, I go FTR. Because I'm not. I've watched Legion of Doom, but I'm not I'm not too familiar with like their thing. Like I know I respect the hell of what they've done. They did a great thing for tag team wrestling. They're easily one of the legendary tag teams of all time.
I just think it's a different era sort of
Yeah,
thing.
it's just a
Like
different thing now. Yeah, I agree with that.
New Age Outlaws and Dudleys beat New Age Outlaws. I can see that.
Yeah, that's
I
not
can
even
see
a
that.
question. I don't think that's
Young
a.
Bucks. I mean, look, I can't really.
I put the Young Bucks. I don't know who R&R is though. Do you know who that is? Does it say it?
I haven't seen it, and I feel like it's such a. It should be something super simple, and I don't know why I'm not getting it. But Young Bucks. I mean, okay, sure.
Young Bucks for
Briscoes.
sure. Either way, it doesn't matter. I put the Young Bucks.
Fine.
Either way,
Briscoes and Brainbusters. I'm fine with that.
Briscoes for sure. I'm not gonna even argue
Now
that.
look at this one: the Heart Foundation and the Midnight Express. Is it the Midnight Express?
Yeah, I would imagine that's Midnight Express.
So, would you put Heart Foundation on the Midnight Express?
Yeah, I think I would.
I don't
Well,
know.
wait, which Heart Foundation is what? Is it Brett and
I would think it's
Neidhart?
yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to. I mean, well, Midnight Express is
Yes.
who? That's God, I always get them
They
confused.
have
There's
like
like
different,
different expresses. There's different ones, right? There's
yeah. But you would
um
argue a lot of people would argue like they were the basis for a lot of like someone I think I had read somewhere
NWA and
there
all
were
that.
like
Yeah.
the Midnight Express and then the Rockers were kind of like them and stuff like that. Like so they influenced a lot of people.
Yeah, I either
It's
I
like
guess you could
historically
say
who had the big
I
I
think
don't
isn't
know.
Midnight Express still wrestling? Is it them that wrestle still? It's one of those old teams that still wrestle. I know that.
Hardys versus the Freebirds. I mean, it's the Hardys podcast.
I would say Hardys would beat the Freebirds. The Hardys they're just a famous tag. Like that's just everyone knows who the Hardy Boys are. I don't know if everyone knows the Freebirds. Like I'm talking about non-wrestling fans. You know what I mean? You know Jeff Hardy. Like and
Do you know
they've
the
had
Hardys or do you know Jeff Hardy?
I think you know the Hardy Boys. Do they know Jeff Hardy more? Yes.
Okay.
It's like from the Temptations, more people know David Ruffin, but you know the Temptations. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's just, and I don't even know who David Ruffin is. The only reason I know David Ruffin is because my fucking name is Ruffin, and everyone says, "Oh, you related to David Ruffin?" I hate that joke. Get that shit out of here.
Great movie, by the way.
I'm sure it is.
It is. It's great.
And then New Day and Steiners, I don't think that's close. I mean, Steiner's a great
Mm.
team. Don't get me wrong, but New Day is just New Day. That's just
So now we have LOD versus ENC, Dudleys and Young Bucks, Briscoes and the Hart Foundation, Hardys and New Day.
I would say Hardy's beat the New Day, but it's the only reason I can understand though. If you go, it depends on what you go with the Hardys and New Day. That's the hardest one from this list for me, at least. Well, actually, it might be the second hardest. No. You know what? That's the hardest because Dudleys and Young Bucks. That's hard too. That's a tough one to pick as well. But Hardys and New Day, I feel like they fall into the same category.
Yeah.
Because the New Day, yes, they have fantastic matches, but it's their moments that make them great. Plus, the reason that it's even tougher is that I think people would look at their individual careers. And if you do look at individual careers, you can argue they're on the same level as well because Jeff had success as an individual. Matt had success as an individual. And then each member besides Xavier has had great individual careers as well. But Xavier just doesn't have, he never had the opportunity for the individual career. So I can go with either one. Like I can understand either way. But more people will probably pick Hardys. But that's a good way. I will tell you this. So I think one of the things that I want to do, and this is something I was going to talk to you, Sasha, about this, so we can introduce this in the next episode. But you know how WrestleMania is like a new, after WrestleMania is like a new season, right?
Right.
For wrestling. Now, for us, obviously, our season ends the whole year. But
I did what I want to do. I want to do more things like this. I want to do like tournaments, like our type of tournaments. One of the things I want to do, Sasha, as well is, and I mentioned this before. You remember when I said that theme songs?
Right.
I want to do that more. I want to have a theme song stuff, and I want to post our top 5, each of our top 5 or top 10 theme songs and stuff like that. That's stuff I want to do. I think these are great ideas, and I love the fact that they did this so that it gave us a topic to talk about. And I think we can bring even more stuff to it. So this is great. Overall, this is a great idea by the Hardys, by Matt Hardy. I guess this was his podcast that did this, you said?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so
The
that's
Extreme Life of Matt Hardy. Yep.
okay. So that's a great idea, Matt. Thank you so much for doing that, because that's something that I think me and Sasha would excel in. Our great minds. It's just obvious. So, but yeah, Sasha, was there anything else that we missed? Because, like I said, it's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since we recorded. There's been a lot that's happened over the last 2 weeks. Anything else that we missed that you wanted to jump in on?
I think next time, in accordance with our WrestleMania episode, we can talk about the Hall of Fame. I think it's good that we didn't talk about this episode.
That's right.
But I
Yeah,
think
I'm
it's good though, just in
sorry.
case they're gonna add somebody else. I think we
That's
could just talk about
true.
everybody
That is true. Damn, and I
all
did
at
mention that in the
once.
beginning.
No, but it's like, talk about it
Yeah.
next time.
Well,
First
we
time
just want to say, for the names that they did mention, congratulations. But we'll dive deep into the specifics of each person and stuff like that in the next
I learned a
episode.
lot about one of them.
Well, okay, I'll ask you after, because
Yeah.
I'm curious. But yeah, so we'll dive deep into the Hall of Fame in the next episode. So WrestleMania is in April 7th, right? That's April 7th, April 8th, if I remember right, all the dates.
I think it's 6 and
6 and 7? Okay, 6 and 7. So we will probably drop this episode, the next episode. So this episode will drop tomorrow on 3/16 day. So first off, happy 3/16 day, early 3/16 day to everybody.
everybody that celebrates it.
Yes, I will be celebrating it. I get off at work at 9:00 tomorrow, and at 9:00, once I get home at around 9:10, 9:15, I will have a couple of Steve Weisers in the fridge, and I'm gonna be chugging them, and I'm gonna be, just doing the Stone Cold thing. You know what I'm saying? Open up 2 Steve Weisers, pour them up, and do the whole thing. That's what I'm gonna do. Because that's also the start of my vacation. So shout out to me. I'll be off the next week. So yeah, Steve Weiser Day. But yeah, so, and then we'll probably record our WrestleMania preview probably a week before Mania. So we'll have our info out there. We'll have everything out there. By then we'll have our first episode of PLAYA out. So we got a lot going on in the next 2 weeks. So I can't wait for our WrestleMania preview, Sasha. I think that's going to be an episode that can not only put the show on the map, but I want to use this episode, Sasha. I want to put you on the map. I want the world to know Sasha the legit king, because you already got eyes on you. You got eyes on you. I'm already scared. Sasha she got people calling her already. I'm scared.
Like that.
I'm doing it because you deserve to be on that stage, on that platform. So I'm putting it out there now. Okay.
We shall see, but thank you.
At the end of the day, though, we just want to make sure, we just want to have fun with it. We love what we do. We love putting the show out there. Love doing this episodes and stuff like that. We just want to make Ring Champs as great as we can. So we appreciate everybody for listening, tuning in each and every time we post an episode. Thank you so much for all that you guys do to help support us. But yeah, hey, Sasha, any last words before we head out of here?
Nope. Just Mania season people are almost there. Just strap in, enjoy the ride. Just again, like we say almost every episode, just enjoy it. Enjoy
Enjoy.
it.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we are out of here. This was the Kobe episode 24 of the Ring Champs podcast. Hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you guys listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Make sure to check out Playback Player. That's going to be debuting very soon. Hopefully, it will be on March 25th, Monday, every Monday at 7 o'clock. But other than that, guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. And we out of here. Peace.
Adios.
Yeet! No yeet.